Chaos gripped South Korea in a matter of hours. Martial law was declared, the military paraded, and protests broke out. The country now stands in uncertainty after a series of events that happened within just a few hours. At 10:30 p.m. local time, President Yoon Suk Yeol of People Power Party made a surprise TV address. Without warning, he declared martial law, claiming it was necessary to protect the nation.
저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는 파렴치한 종북 반국가 세력들을 일거에 척결하고 자유 헌정 질서를 지키기 위해 비상계엄을 선포합니다.
He defended his decision and alleged that communist forces are trying to disrupt the nation. But the truth behind this move could just be more than that.
He's talking about communist influences from the north and all that. This is usual political rhetoric. It's very clear that he wanted to save his chair. He wanted to remain in power. His party, the Conservative Party, National People's Power, had lost seats in the Assembly, National Assembly, and the opposition Democratic Party was in power. So it was just a matter of time before he was dislodged from power or voted out of power. In the next elections, he was expected to be voted out of power. So without mincing words, it just looks like an attempt to grab power.
Soon after the announcements were made, the National Assembly was sealed, political activities banned, and the media placed under tight government control. Military forces marched in, ready to enforce the decree. But the decision did not sit well with the public. Outraged citizens stormed Parliament. Opposition leaders and even members of Yoon's own party fiercely opposed the decision. Protests raged and calls to revoke martial law grew louder. In a dramatic late-night move, the National Assembly held an emergency meeting. By the early hours, they had passed a unanimous vote to block the presidential decree. Meanwhile, the military stood ready to enforce martial law, even attempting to enter the National Assembly building. At 4:30 a.m. local time, President Yoon backed down, agreeing to comply with the Assembly's decision.
국회의 계엄 해제 요구가 있어 계엄 사무에 투입된 군을 철수시켰습니다. 바로 국무회의를 통해 국회의 요구를 수용하여 계엄을 해제할 것입니다.
Yoon's presidency was already troubled by scandals and controversies. His approval ratings too had taken a hit. He was frustrated as the opposition pushed to impeach his top officials. So he had no other choice but to concede. But what's next for South Korea?
The point is that right now, since President Yoon declared declared martial law and had to withdraw it because of the National Assembly blocking such a move, he really has nowhere else to go. I mean, his position has become untenable. So there is a move to now impeach him, and if he faces the impeachment proceedings, he is going to get impeached. The only alternative is for him to resign. So it's just a matter of time before either of these two things happen. But it's also a lesson for all rulers and especially in established democracies that any attempt to perpetuate oneself in office using subversion will not work and should not work.
Over 10 of Yoon's senior officials, including his chief of staff, have resigned. The demand for President Yoon's resignation is growing, and the world is watching closely for what is about to unfold next for South Korea.